Human consciousness operates on multiple frequencies simultaneously, though most people remain locked into only the densest layer of experience. This limited awareness creates the illusion that reality exists as something fixed and separate from the observer, when in fact it responds dynamically to the vibrational patterns generated by conscious awareness itself. The shift happening now involves recognizing that what appears solid and unchangeable represents only one narrow band of a much broader spectrum of possibility. Behind every physical manifestation lies a field of pure potential that reorganizes itself according to the dominant frequency of consciousness engaging with it. This field responds to coherent intention backed by sustained emotional states rather than to physical effort alone. Most people experience reality as something that happens to them, requiring constant struggle against external circumstances to achieve desired outcomes. This perspective creates a chronic state of separation between the observer and what they wish to experience, generating endless cycles of effort with limited results. The vibrational understanding reveals that this separation exists primarily in perception rather than in actual fact. When consciousness operates from coherence instead of fragmentation, the entire relationship with manifestation reverses. Instead of chasing external conditions, you become a magnetic field that naturally draws aligned experiences into your sphere of reality. This magnetism emerges from sustained internal states rather than from strategic planning or forceful action. The transition requires abandoning the assumption that physical effort serves as the primary engine of creation. While action remains important, it transforms from desperate striving into inspired response to opportunities that emerge organically from vibrational alignment. This shift demands trust in invisible mechanisms that orchestrate circumstances with precision beyond what logical planning could achieve. Understanding consciousness as creative force means recognizing that every thought and emotion generates electromagnetic patterns that interact with the surrounding energy field. These patterns either reinforce existing limitations or collapse barriers between current reality and desired outcomes. The quality of your internal experience directly determines which probabilities become activated in your external world. This principle operates whether you believe in it or not. The difference lies in conscious participation versus unconscious creation. Those who remain unaware of their vibrational impact continue generating random results based on conflicting internal states. Those who understand these mechanics can direct their creative power with intention and consistency. The electromagnetic signature of genuine emotion carries far more influence than mental concepts alone. When you feel an outcome is already accomplished rather than as something you hope to achieve someday, you generate the specific frequency that transforms potential into manifest form. This requires moving beyond intellectual understanding into embodied experience of desired states. Sustaining coherent vibrational patterns demands ongoing attention to the subtle energies that compose your moment-to-moment experience. Every interaction either strengthens or weakens your personal magnetic field. Learning to recognize and maintain alignment becomes the most practical skill for navigating reality as a conscious creator rather than as a victim of circumstance. The process involves developing extraordinary sensitivity to energy patterns in yourself and others. This sensitivity initially feels overwhelming because you suddenly perceive the underlying dynamics that were previously invisible. Environments, relationships, and situations reveal their true energetic signatures beyond their surface appearances. This heightened perception naturally leads to significant changes in how you engage with the world. Relationships that depend on dysfunction or manipulation become intolerable. Work environments that drain your vital force lose their appeal. Physical locations that feel heavy or discordant no longer seem acceptable as places to spend your time and energy. The realignment happens organically as your frequency shifts. People and circumstances that match your new vibrational state begin appearing while those that no longer resonate naturally fade away. This process cannot be forced or controlled through willpower alone. It emerges as the automatic consequence of sustained internal coherence. Emotional clearing accelerates dramatically during this transition. Old patterns, traumas, and limiting beliefs surface not to create suffering but to be released from your energy system. What once took years to process and integrate now resolves in weeks or days as your consciousness gains the ability to dissolve stuck patterns through direct energetic intervention. The clearing process restructures your entire relationship with emotional triggers. Instead of being pulled into reactive patterns, you develop the capacity to observe disturbing stimuli without losing your center. This observer stance creates space for higher wisdom to emerge rather than allowing automatic conditioning to dictate your responses. From this stable foundation, decision-making shifts from urgency and fear into clarity and intuitive knowing. The constant mental chatter that once dominated your inner landscape quiets down, allowing subtle guidance to become audible. You begin making choices based on energetic resonance rather than on complex logical analysis alone. Physical symptoms often accompany these shifts as your biological systems adjust to operate at higher frequencies. Increased sensitivity to light, sound, and electromagnetic fields becomes common. Sleep patterns may change as your consciousness requires less dense physical rest and more subtle energy integration time. These adjustments represent your system upgrading to sustain expanded states of awareness. Rather than seeing them as problems to be fixed, recognizing them as natural adaptations helps you navigate the transition with greater ease and understanding. The role of conscious observer becomes central to maintaining stability during this shift. Instead of being swept away by emotional storms or external chaos, you learn to create internal space between stimulus and response. This pause allows higher consciousness to intervene and choose responses that maintain vibrational alignment rather than falling into reactive patterns. Developing this observer capacity requires practice and patience. The mind habits developed over decades resist change and will attempt to pull you back into familiar patterns of worry, control, and emotional reactivity. Consistent return to centered awareness gradually strengthens your ability to remain stable regardless of external circumstances. As internal coherence stabilizes, the effects begin manifesting in your external world with increasing frequency and precision. Synchronicities multiply beyond statistical probability. Opportunities appear through unexpected channels. Solutions emerge organically to problems that seemed intractable when approached through logical analysis alone. These developments reveal the interconnected nature of consciousness and physical reality. The boundary between inner and outer dissolves as you recognize that environmental changes follow internal shifts with remarkable consistency. What appears as separate occurrences actually represents different aspects of a unified field responding to your vibrational input. Understanding this connection transforms your entire approach to creating change. Rather than trying to manipulate external conditions directly, you focus on maintaining the internal state that naturally generates aligned external experiences. This reversal from force to flow represents the fundamental difference between operating from struggle versus operating from creative power. The practice requires developing what could be called energetic hygiene, regular clearing and maintenance of your vibrational field just as you maintain physical cleanliness. This involves learning to discharge accumulated stress, clear absorbed energies from others, and consciously regenerate your natural state of coherence and vitality. Meditation becomes essential not as spiritual practice but as practical technology for maintaining optimal frequency. Through consistent inner stillness, you access the creative intelligence that organizes reality at levels beyond mental comprehension. This intelligence operates through inspiration and synchronicity rather than through logical planning and effortful execution. The deeper you anchor in this understanding, the more your speech and thoughts gain immediate creative weight. Casual words spoken from clear intention begin producing visible effects with minimal delay. This power requires great responsibility because unconscious expression can manifest unwanted outcomes just as easily as conscious intention creates desired ones. Living from this expanded awareness gradually dissolves the artificial boundaries between spiritual practice and practical life. Every moment becomes an opportunity to choose coherence over chaos, presence over reactivity, creative response over conditioned patterns. This integration transforms ordinary activities into expressions of conscious participation in reality creation. The collective implications become apparent as more individuals operate from vibrational coherence. Systems that depend on unconscious participation in fear and scarcity patterns begin losing their energetic foundation. This shift happens gradually but inevitably as conscious creators stop feeding dysfunctional structures through their attention and emotional investment. Your primary contribution to collective transformation lies in maintaining personal alignment rather than trying to change others directly. As you embody coherent frequency, you automatically influence the collective field in ways that support awakening in those ready to receive higher possibilities. This influence operates through resonance rather than through persuasion or activism. The transition requires releasing attachment to specific timelines or outcomes while maintaining clear vision of what you intend to create. This balance between intention and surrender allows creative intelligence to orchestrate circumstances in ways that exceed what personal planning could achieve. Trust in this process develops through repeated experience of successful manifestation from aligned states. Ultimately, mastering vibrational creation means recognizing yourself as both artist and artwork in the ongoing masterpiece of conscious evolution. Every thought, emotion, and choice contributes to the emerging pattern of your reality. Taking full responsibility for this creative power transforms life from random occurrence into conscious artistic expression. The knowledge itself changes nothing without consistent application. Daily practice of maintaining coherent frequency, clearing energetic debris, and choosing responses from higher consciousness gradually builds the stability needed to live permanently from this expanded awareness. This practice represents the most direct path from understanding these principles to embodying them as living truth.